Hi everybody, this is a video to get you thinking about all the things that you need to be working on this summer if you decide that you're going to get your instrument out of your case, which I hope that you do, because it will pay off when you come back in the fall. Everything will be right back in your fingers and in your brain and ready to roll. So I have a list of all the things that fourth graders need to be working on this summer. And on this list, it starts to go back all the way to the beginning of our Essential Elements book, which you remember looks like this. And so our Essential Elements book is what we worked on for a little bit after we started learning some notes all together as a class. We're going to refer to this book a whole lot, as well as something called the Essential Elements Interactive Pages. And they're just a handful of extra sheets that go along with the things in the book. Sometimes the book moves really, really fast, and sometimes it moves a little too slow. So these extra pages, the EEI, Essential Elements Interactive, are there to help us out in case we stumble a little bit. But they're also really good review as well. So the first thing that we need to do in this little session that we're going to do is, this is just strictly for violins and violas right now. I'll make another video for cellos and basses. So if that's you, pause the video now and go to the other ones that say cello and bass. The first thing we need to remember are our string names. And that very first song that we did, we talked about the ants and the digging in the dirt and all that stuff. But we want to make sure we set our instrument up correctly first. So we put our bow down. We're not going to work with our bow right away. We're just going to go back to our instrument. So we have 1 is right here, and then 2 is all the way up here, and then we go 3, and then 4 is right here. And so we take our pinchers, our grabbers, we're going to take our thumb, and we're going to super glue it right here to our fingerboard. Okay, and we're going to go through the instrument string names. We have our violin right here, so we have, and I said eek, 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 all the little ants, 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 digging in the dirt, 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 going underground, ground, ground. And if you're a viola player, clearing the way to China, 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 and you would hit your C string. So that's just a quick little refresher of your strings. The next thing we want to do is we want to start to put all those fingers down. We're going to start on the D string. Remember where that one is? That's for violins, it's the 3rd string over from E. For viola players, it's the 2nd string over. We're going to start with D. We're going to take our hand, we're going to bring it back like a nice J book. See how this is nice and flat? We don't want to crush the critter. We don't want pancake hand. We want it nice and tall. We want our fingers nice and curved over the top. We want to make a box with that first finger when we go to put it down. You can see, if I come this direction, you can especially see that box shape that I have here with my first finger. So I'm going to put my first finger on the tape on the D string, and that's a note E. First finger, I take my pincher, and I'm going to play E 4 times. Play it with me. 1, 2, here we go. E, 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 E. Good, let's try that again. Ready, here we go. E, 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 good. We add another finger, our 2nd finger, and we want to make sure it's nice and fat. I call it a fat tube because there's a fat distance between, probably about a 1/4 size. So we want to put a 1/4 between our 1st and 2nd finger, and that's F sharp. We're going to put 2 fingers down. Keep it nice and round, no pancake hands, keep it nice and round. Pincher ready to go. We have F, ready, 4 times go. F, 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 good. Now we're going to add one more, 3rd finger, keeping it nice and curved. We got it nice and curved here on the fingerboard. That we don't want it to collapse, because when it collapses, the whole thing falls flat. Fingers up nice and tall on their tips. Another trick I like to say is the elbow. I say swing your wing just a little bit more towards your belly. So here we go. This is G. 3 fingers down, 4 times on G. 1, 2, ready, go. G, 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 G. Now let's play G, F, E, D. 1, 2, ready, here we go. G, F, E, D. Good. So we've got that all under control. Those are our notes on the D string. I am going to grab my bow here real quick, and we're going to play all of these notes with the bow. Now, refresher course with our bow. When we get it out of the case, we want to make sure we don't touch the hair. Your bow should be nice and loose because you loosened it from the last time that you practiced. And so we're going to take the screw here and we're going to tighten it a little bit. How tight? The width of your pinky. Okay, so about this tight. You want your pinky in there. And remember, when we go to put our hand on the bow, I'm just going to set this down a sec. When we put our hand on the bow, we say, there's a couple different ways that we did it before, and there's a video back on my webpage that shows you all about getting the bow set up. Take a soda can, dump it out on that first knuckle, soda can, dump it, fingers wrap around here, pinky on top, and then your thumb is halfway on the bump, halfway on the stick. You can kind of see that on this side. My thumb is halfway on the bump, halfway on the stick, fingers wrap around, and here it is. Okay, it's kind of a here and dump. Okay, so this is the stick, and this is the tip, and then this is the hair. And my bow, as I'm looking at this right now, does not have dots, but yours should, because I didn't take them off. We're going to start on the D string, and we're going to pull nice long D strokes. We're going to go dot to dot so that when we pull, we're pulling with our wrist and we're opening the gate. We talked about the gate a lot this year. So when you pull, we're not pulling up here, we're pulling from the wrist. Watch. Let's try it together with me. 1, 2, ready, pull. Good. You want to keep it nice and straight. Remember we talked about lanes. Lane 1 is over here on the fingerboard. Lane 2 is in the middle. Lane 3 is all the way in front of the bridge. We want to be right in lane 2. We want to keep it nice and parallel. Go back to the D. 1, 2, ready, pull. Good. Try it again. 2, ready, pull. Nice. Well, let's start the second dot and let's try to set it upwards. This is an up bow. 1, 2, up bow, ready, go. Up. Good. Let's try that again. Go bow and up bow. 2, ready, go. Up. Nice. So we're going to go down and up in the same play position. Here we go. We're going to start at the first dot, go to the second dot, go to the second dot to the first dot. Ready? Here we go. Down, up. Do it again. Down, up. A great way to practice this is in front of a mirror. Go to the bathroom and stand in front of a mirror, and you want to make sure you pull nice and tall, nice and straight. Keep it in the lane. So the next part you have to do is add fingers. So you can just practice this at home. I don't need to go through all this with you. This is all old stuff. But we want to make sure that this, again, we're pulling the gate nice and open. We're not pulling this way. It doesn't work. Nice and straight. And notice this hand over here. I'm not collapsing. Nice and tall. Good. So that's all the notes on the D string. Now we go to the A string. Super easy. I'm just going to keep going with my bow. Remember, it's open A. First finger on the A string is B. Second finger on the A string is C sharp. That's a big fat C. Remember we talked about that quarter, nice and round. And as we get over to the A string, it's real easy to make our wrist do this, but we're going to keep it nice and tall. Swing your wing. C sharp is 2 fingers. Ready, play it. And then finally, third finger down is D. Okay, so those are all the notes on the A string. We should know all of these notes. We're going to go and play a D scale. We're going to start on open D and work our way all the way over to third finger D on the A string. We're going to play each note for a half note. Starting on open D, 1, 2, here we go. D, E, F, A, B, C, D. Good. Now we're going to throw it in reverse. Starting on D, 2. Here we go. C, B, A. Get your fingers set for G. these notes are located in your book and in the Essential Elements interactive pages. So pages that are listed on your sheet of what to work on in the book, plus you want to work on Boeing studies. Our goal is to be able to get away from writing in all of those note names. We don't want to do that anymore. We got to get those converted to memory because really there's only 16 notes that we really need to know. If you think about that compared to how many vocabulary words you need to know for your English classes, it's not that much. So the faster you get those notes converted to memory, the easier life is going to be. This is the end of the review portion for your practice sessions this summer. If you want some other kinds of review besides the book and besides these extra worksheets, have a look at our old videos when we did Shake It Off and All About the D and Our Bows Are Moving and the Michael Jackson song and all those old songs that we did for our first concert. Have a look at those. The next segment that I'm going to do is in the next video over, and it's with some new material. You'll want to check that out if you really want a challenge.